Hey, what's up, YouTube? Smash the like button, smash the subscribe button. Today, we're going to be getting into Gervonta Tank Davis and Frank Martin have just agreed to a match. Both of them are avoiding Shakur Stevenson. Let's get into this. So, some fans, they say Shakur Stevenson doesn't deserve a Gervonta Tank Davis match. They say he would have to fight someone of higher stature, have another match to earn the spot to face Tank. Now, as you can see from Tank's fighting history, the other opponents that he faced didn't have to be held to such high standards. They seemed to slip through the cracks and just not really have to do much to be able to face Tank. Some of these dudes, they defeated tomato cans to get there, to get that spot to face, to get that payday to face Gervonta Tank Davis. So you got Frank Martin. He was supposed to face Shakur Stevenson. They had everything all set up, looked like things were about to happen. And openly, Frank Martin got cold feet and pulled out of the match and went ghost on the situation. Frank the Ghost Martin. On the other hand, you have Gervonta Tank Davis, who also doesn't want to fight Shakur Stevenson. And the person who keeps letting that slip up the most is Coach Calvin Ford. In one interview, he says basically that they're going to use the Devin Haney blueprint to avoid Shakur Stevenson by pricing him out. He said, oh, look, Shakur Stevenson didn't take that 25%, so why would we want to take a pay cut to fight this guy? And there's been many things that he's alluded to in which it shows that they want no smoke with Shakur Stevenson. And now you have these two guys, and it's only a matter of time when so many fighters are ducking one fighter, because you could also throw Devin Haney in that mix. Eventually these guys, and many other fighters, as Ryan Garcia, who's ducking them, when you have so many, eventually they will start fighting each other. So that's what you have here. A battle of the ducks. You got Frank Martin, who blatantly and openly ducked Shakur Stevenson, versus Tank, who seems to not want the smoke with Shakur Stevenson. He's in his weight division. He's actually the most famous person that Tank could fight at 135. And he's the most accomplished, Shakur Stevenson is. He has the most accolades. So the reason why people never want to fight Shakur Stevenson is the high risk factor of losing to Shakur Stevenson. But if you notice, they have many, many reasons other than that they will tell you. It's because of all these other things they'll tell you. But it's none of those other things. It's one thing. That one thing that Shakur Stevenson's difficulty level is high. Has nothing to do with the money, actually. They don't really, that doesn't seem to matter when they're fighting other fighters, that these guys are bums. Oh, so why wouldn't you be able to fight this guy or that guy? Because they was literally tomato cans. So you made those matches. And now when it comes to this talented fighter, you can't fight him for that reason. Because he's not famous enough, because he hasn't got there yet. It doesn't even make sense when you're fighting all these other guys who not only hadn't they got there yet, they're never going to get there. They're bona fide tomato cans. They're there for a reason, because they're going to get beat up and the other person's going to look good doing it. And that's why these guys are avoiding Shakur Stevenson, because he's not going to make you look good. And that's the other thing that Coach Calvin Ford had said recently, actually. He said, why should we fight Shakur Stevenson when we can't do what we do? When we can't do what we normally do. So you're admitting Shakur Stevenson going to stop you from doing your thing? You're admitting that he's so difficult. He's going to stop you from doing your thing. Your thing that you normally been doing every match. So you're proving my point. It's because of Shakur Stevenson's high difficulty level. This is the reason. There's always all these other things trying to swirl around, all these other excuses. But they're not valid excuses. They can be picked they can be picked apart. And it's now Tank fighting Frank Martin, sure. It's a great fight. It's a good fight. It's a better fight than what Tank's normally been doing, because he ain't fought nobody but Ryan Garcia, who ain't shit. So let's be honest. And Ryan Garcia wasn't even a champion, who was ducking Devin Haney. You know what I mean? And now he's finally fighting him. But he'd been ducking him all that other time. I mean, Tank's older than these other guys. And they're trying to line him up with them. Tank got a little bit of a head start up here. He's supposed to be fighting people. Oh, you don't think all that time you're not going to fight nobody? Nobody? Nobody that earned it? And you're going to compare him to dudes they started behind you. And you're going to try to give him that leeway. Shakur Stevenson deserves the match way more than Frank Martin. But the problem is the fact that nobody wants to fight Shakur Stevenson because they know he's going to win. And eventually, they're going to have to see this man. What do y'all think about this? Smash the like button and smash the subscribe button.